Hello, this is Edgar Parnell, and I want to encourage people to reinvent self-help and mutual action. In this video, I explain the importance of rediscovering the practice of self-help and mutual action, and how the application of this concept drives all genuine self-help enterprises. I also outline the approaches necessary to run this form of enterprise so that they achieve their purposes and enhance the lives of their members. But first, a reminder as to what the term self-help enterprises, or SHEs for short, actually means. This idiom embraces all the various types of enterprise rooted in the practice of self-help and mutual action. These are enterprises that are usually more well known by the names of distinct types of this form of enterprise, such as community enterprises. Cooperatives of many different kinds, for example, farmers' co-ops and food co-ops. Other examples include housing cooperatives, energy cooperatives, transport cooperatives, and so on. Then there are credit unions, which provide all kinds of financial services to their members. There are building societies that provide home loans for their members and facilities for saving, while there are friendly societies providing various services to protect their members in times of sickness, and also providing facilities for savings. And there are mutual insurers which provide insurance services to their members. There are also many other different types of self-help enterprises. Self-help enterprises undertake all manner of activities where they make intervention in a market in the best interest of their members. In the 18th century, the powerless in various parts of the world began to realize that they could not rely upon others to improve their lives, and that nobody but themselves would make the sweeping changes necessary to enrich their lives. Groups of people set up enterprises to help them take more control over their lives. Many different approaches were tried, including setting up self-supporting communities where members sought to insulate themselves against the reality of the markets in which they had no power. However, very few of these ventures made any significant impact, and most efforts to change lives in this way were often short-lived. It was not until the 19th century that fully effective self-help enterprises blossomed, when groups developed more systematic approaches, providing widely copied models. These early SHEs included consumer, farmer, and worker co-ops, friendly societies, building societies, and mutual insurers, and several other types of credit cooperatives. Soon, the practical application of self-help and mutual action spread like wildfire throughout the world, first in Europe and then worldwide, becoming one of the main mechanisms for improving the lives of ordinary people. No doubt, there will be those who will challenge my presumption that there is a need to rediscover self-help enterprises, because worldwide there are millions of people who are members of mutually owned enterprises that radically improve their lives. While this is true, my argument is that as of now, for the mass of people, SHEs remain undiscovered. Awareness about the role that SHEs can play in people's lives has declined when compared with the level of significance only a couple of generations ago. At the same time, substantial numbers of self-help enterprises have been demutualized and hundreds more hijacked by their management and cliques of members. For example, in the UK, in the past few decades, scores of building societies and agricultural supply cooperatives have been demutualized. And there are lots of SHEs that are falling short of achieving their full potential when success is measured in terms of delivering real benefits to their members. An important step towards the rediscovery of the value of self-help and mutual action is to make it easier for the public to identify genuine self-help enterprises. This calls for the clear differentiation between organizations that are authentic SHEs and all other forms of organization. In most countries, changes in the law are necessary to ensure that only authentic self-help enterprises use names that imply that they are genuine SHEs and at the same time are protected from takeover by those motivated only by self-interest. It's imperative that the public acquires a thorough understanding of the true nature of enterprises rooted in self-help and mutual action. SHEs are not commercial businesses, and they're not charities. They are in fact associations of equal persons seeking to improve their members' position within a specific market. These unique features separate them from investor-owned companies, which are associations of finance, that is to say capital, having the purpose of making money for their owners. We need to understand that the fight against poverty and gross inequality will only be won when the underlying causes are confronted. Chief among these causes is the passive acceptance of dependency. A harmful dependency arises when people become reliant on the largesse of those who control charities and non-governmental organizations. The self-help mindset encourages people to reject all kinds of dependency, including when this arises when they become dependent upon highly paid managers of their own organizations. Such managers often build over-complex organizations that members are unable to understand, let alone control. The self-help mindset converts into action when people reject dependency and instead decide to work together with others to rid themselves of their reliance upon those people and organizations that are taking advantage of them. If the mass of people is to reap the benefits available as a result of their self-help and mutual action, thousands more people are needed who fully understand the self-help model of enterprise and the systems essential to running successful SHEs. My book, Enterprises That Change Lives, explains the self-help enterprise model and details the systems that are essential to running truly successful enterprises of this form. The book has two parts. Part 1 supplies the ideas and practices required by those involved in running SHEs, while Part 2 details the practices required to build the most significant systems necessary in such enterprises. I hope you understand why we need to rediscover self-help and mutual action, and that we now need to reinvent this concept in a way that makes it even more relevant in today's world. Thanks for watching. I hope you will join me for another video session soon.